In the world of relationships, few dynamics are as devastating yet compelling as those that involve narcissists. They leave a path of destruction wherever they go, always hungry for validation and attention, constantly seeking out new supply. But what happens when karma comes calling? Is it possible for narcissists and their new supply to escape the consequences of their toxic behavior? Spoiler alert, they can't. In this video, we'll explore exactly how karma deals its cards, and why narcissists and their new supply are doomed to repeat the same toxic patterns over and over again. Stick around, because by the end, you'll understand that karma always finds a way to balance the scales. Before we dive into this fascinating topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, if you haven't already, and give this video a like. It helps more people discover important discussions like these, especially those who might be struggling with the trauma of narcissistic relationships. Share it with anyone you think might need to hear this, because trust me, there are plenty of people out there feeling stuck and lost after a run-in with a narcissist. Now let's get into the heart of the matter: narcissists, their new supply, and karma's revenge. You might have heard the term narcissistic supply before. In psychological terms, it refers to the people narcissists latch onto to feed their endless need for admiration, praise, and validation. Without this supply, narcissists feel empty and vulnerable, like a balloon deflating as soon as the air escapes. That's why, when one relationship falls apart, they immediately move on to the next. Often, this is where the new supply enters the picture. A fresh person the narcissist can manipulate and control. Someone who doesn't yet know the real monster lurking beneath the charm. When you've been discarded or replaced by a narcissist, it's easy to believe that they've found happiness with their new supply. You see them on social media posting pictures with their new partner, appearing more in love than ever. And you begin to wonder if they've really changed, if perhaps the problem was you all along. But here's the truth: a narcissist doesn't change. The person who seemed so perfect in the beginning, whether it was with you or with their new supply, is just an illusion. Eventually, the mask slips, the charm wears off, and the toxic behaviors resurface. This is where karma comes into play. Narcissists often believe they're above consequence, that they can hurt people, manipulate them, and discard them without facing any kind of reckoning. They thrive on creating chaos in others' lives while avoiding responsibility for their actions. But the thing about karma is that it doesn't work on the narcissist's timeline. While it might seem like they're getting away with everything at first, the truth is much darker. The new supply isn't their ticket to happiness or fulfillment. They're just the next victim in line. One of the most powerful truths about narcissists is that they can never be satisfied, no matter how much supply they receive. This insatiable hunger for attention and control makes it impossible for them to maintain a healthy, happy relationship. So while their new supply might seem happy now, it's only a matter of time before the narcissist's true colors show. Eventually, the new partner will be subjected to the same gaslighting, manipulation, and emotional abuse that you experienced. The narcissist's cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard will continue, with the new supply taking on the role of the next pawn in their twisted game. As you watch from the sidelines, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions: sadness, anger, perhaps even jealousy. But it's important to remember that this cycle is not your fault. The narcissist's behavior is deeply rooted in their own pathology, and no amount of love or attention from you or anyone else could ever fix them. Their new supply will learn this the hard way, just as you did. What's particularly satisfying in a karmic sense is that narcissists ultimately create their own downfall. While they may appear to win in the short term, their inability to form genuine, lasting connections ensures that they will always be alone. They can't escape their own emptiness, no matter how many people they try to use and discard. The chaos they create in others' lives eventually catches up to them, and they find themselves surrounded by the wreckage of broken relationships, shattered trust, and people who have finally seen through their facade. Now you might be wondering, where does karma fit into all of this for the new supply? It's a common belief that when someone knowingly enters a relationship with a narcissist, especially if they've witnessed the narcissist's previous toxic behaviors, they've invited trouble into their own lives. While the new supply may believe they're special, or that they can somehow fix the narcissist, they're in for a rude awakening. Karma doesn't necessarily punish the new supply out of malice, but the natural consequence of engaging with a narcissist is suffering. Just as the narcissist is doomed to repeat their destructive patterns, the new supply is destined to experience the fallout of the narcissist's inability to form healthy attachments. But here's where the true beauty of karma lies. While the narcissist and their new supply are trapped in this vicious cycle, you are free. If you've escaped a narcissistic relationship, you've been given the rare and valuable opportunity to rebuild your life, to rediscover who you are without the weight of the narcissist's manipulation dragging you down. Karma works in your favor too, but in a much quieter, subtler way. It offers you the chance for healing, growth, and eventually peace. The narcissist, on the other hand, remains locked in their own personal hell, forever searching for something they can never truly have, genuine love and connection. One of the most profound lessons in all of this is that the best form of revenge isn't about seeking to harm the narcissist or even wishing for their downfall. Instead, it's about living your life authentically and fully, without allowing the narcissist's toxicity to define you. In time, you'll see that while the narcissist and their new supply are ensnared in a never-ending game of deception and manipulation, you're free to create a life filled with love, trust, and genuine connections. So the next time you see the narcissist parading their new supply around, remember this: what looks like a picture-perfect relationship is just another act in the narcissist's play. The new supply may be smiling for the camera now, but behind closed doors, the familiar patterns of control and manipulation are already beginning to take hold. In the end, karma is patient, but it's always precise. The narcissist can't escape it, and neither can their new supply. While they're stuck in their endless loop of dysfunction, you have the power to move on, heal, and thrive. Thank you so much for staying with me through this deep dive into the mind of a narcissist and their inevitable fate. I hope this video has given you clarity, and perhaps even some comfort in knowing that the narcissist's new supply won't change the outcome of their story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this discussion helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.
Salutations, dear readers. I trust each of you is enjoying a splendid day. Today, our discourse delves into a fascinating facet of narcissistic conduct, their profound dread of former partners. Brace yourselves, as what follows may revolutionize your perception of narcissistic anxieties within relationships. Contrary to popular belief, narcissists harbor deep-seated fears. These apprehensions stem from their innermost anxieties and emotional wounds, compelling them to evade confronting these inner demons at any cost. Often resorting to sudden withdrawal or deceitful narratives, narcissists' foremost phobias merit exploration. Their trepidation emanates from the specter of solitude, laying bare their inherent fragility. A narcissist will resort to myriad tactics to retain a grip on your life. Recall the instances where they vehemently resisted your departure? Even post-separation, they might persistently endeavor to reclaim your affections. The prospect of your departure epitomizes their ultimate dread, signifying imminent rejection, an ordeal they are ill-equipped to confront. For a narcissist, abandonment equates to rejection, and the notion of deliberate abandonment renders them utterly defenseless. Their fervent desire is for your unwavering presence, and the mere thought of losing you once their facade crumbles strikes terror in their hearts. Narcissists are very good at hiding how toxic they are, because they want you to not know what their real goals are. Even though they try to hide what they're doing, their deep knowledge shows that they are planning how to act toward you. This knowledge of yourself is proof that the way they treat you is planned and motivated by other things. It is important to think about how these people persuaded us to stay in these situations even though we knew it wasn't a good idea. Narcissists see leaving as the same thing as being rejected, which is a clear sign that we no longer need them. It's not easy to come to terms with this hard truth. They desperately want us to stay with them, even though they know they can't give us a good relationship. They will do anything to keep our trust or get us back into their grip. But if we hurt a narcissist, the relationships change in a way that can't be undone. We can't reach our goal of reconciliation if we've hurt or embarrassed them so badly that it can't be fixed. They think you can't be saved, which is one of their biggest fears, that you'll see through their act, leave, and tell other people what they're really like. Narcissists are very afraid of being seen and being vulnerable because these ideas make them feel very anxious. Narcissists need to be praised by others in order to grow. Narcissists' world falls apart as soon as people around them realize how they really are and what they're really trying to do. They become insecure and desperate when they don't get the steady affirmation they need. In this case, abandonment brings up memories of being emotionally ignored as a child, which caused deep emotional wounds and a crisis that the young narcissist fought to understand. All they knew was the terrible pain of being left alone and how hard it was to deal with it. So, narcissists beg you not to know who they really are because that would bring up painful memories and show weaknesses they are desperately trying to hide. People who are narcissists are very clear about their goals and actions, but they stick to their ways because they meet their own needs. They don't want to change habits that help them get what they want. Why change when they already have what they want? As a kid, narcissists were denied the things they wanted most: approval, affection, and attention. This makes them do everything they do to get these things. This necessity is the most important thing to them, and it guides everything they do. It might be hard to understand how things that don't seem important could have such a big effect on their behavior and personality. But the unmet needs they had as kids have left deep-seated wants that still affect how they act as adults. This unfulfilled desire from their childhood shapes everything they do as adults. When seen from the outside, their behavior might seem strange or unimportant. Understanding this basic fact, however, gives you a glimpse into the complicated mind of a narcissist. For some reason, they are very afraid of being exposed by ex-partners because they don't want their real nature to be shown. Even though they are anxious, they feel compelled to keep doing things that meet their childhood needs. As adults, they keep going after these unfulfilled wants, even if it means acting irrationally. Narcissists often give off an air of aimlessness, making them look like they have no idea who they are or what they want out of life. It's important to remember that they see the world differently than we do and have very different ideas about what's going on. Their actions are often caused by traumatic events in the past and a swollen ego, which can make their behavior seem strange to people who are not in their situation. These habits come from traumatic events that happened to them as a child, which made them want to get unwavering love and loyalty, even after being hurt in the past. A turning point is realizing the difference between how partnerships really work and how people think they should work. Keeping up these kinds of ties isn't always possible or helpful. Narcissists are deeply afraid of being rejected and left alone, so these realizations hit close to home for them. The thought of being alone scares people deeply, bringing unmet needs from childhood into the complicated world of adults. You start to see through their mask once you realize that everything they do is carefully planned to make you feel something and validate them. They are only interested in satisfying their needs and wants, and this urge is the only thing that drives them. The hard part is getting through this complicated web of trickery. Getting a steady source of admiration requires being good at navigating social situations. Narcissists use gaslighting and mimicking a lot to get what they want because being honest about who they are could lead to rejection. Being real is a problem for them as they try to get validated. Every contact with another person is a chance for a narcissist to get love and admiration. When they are unsure or afraid of not being accepted, they don't have enough emotions to deal with it. So, They use tricks like gaslighting and reflecting to get what they want. Understanding these basic dynamics can help you understand why narcissists act in strange ways. Their actions are always rooted in a deep fear of being rejected and unmet needs from childhood, which still controls their relationships as adults. Narcissists are very good at copying your behavior and giving you lots of love to keep you emotionally attached. They usually go after people who are kind, understanding, and patient because they think those people are less likely to run away. By being kind and understanding, you build a bond with someone that can be used to manipulate them and help narcissists get what they want. People who are toxic are drawn to this kind of behavior because it makes them feel safe and keeps them from being abandoned. When their mask is taken off, narcissists are scared that they will lose the thing that keeps them going. Their never-ending quest is motivated by a need to protect the life they get from you. Their attempts to make peace are really just covert attempts to get back what you can give them. They may say they want to be with you, but it's not because they love or care about you. It's because they can benefit from having you around. Narcissists see people as nothing more than tools, with no feelings or wants of their own. Their ties are transactional, meaning they only care about what other people can give them. When you understand this basic truth, you understand that a narcissist's relationship with you is only superficial and only serves to drain your energy and take advantage of what you have to give. People who are in a relationship with a narcissist need to face the harsh truth that these relationships rarely, if ever, get better. Narcissists usually don't like change because it goes against their nature. Finding your way through a relationship with a narcissist is very hard. It's very important to understand that their actions are caused by fear and unmet needs, and to see how much they want to be validated and noticed. But it's important to remember that narcissists rarely change in a real way, which makes it unlikely that things will get better or become more relevant. Always keep in mind that everyone deserves a relationship filled with love, respect, and understanding. Narcissists may act like they have these traits, but their true intentions and unwillingness to change often make the environment they're in toxic and draining. When working with narcissists, it's important to put your own health and well-being first. I'm glad you learned something useful from our talk about vanity. It is very important to understand these factors if you want to be good at relationships and help people who are having trouble with them. Thanks for reading.